254 matches, 65 days, only one winner. Welcome to the Five Nights at Freddy's Alert's Favorite Character Tournament, Series 3. This is a biannual tradition I have on this account, where I create a roster of FNAF characters for fans to vote on in a tournament style using Twitter polls. In 2019, there were 64 characters in the bracket. In 2021, there were 128. This time, there's going to be 256. This spans characters from the main series games, the Fazbear Fanverse, the novels, Fazbear Frights, and even merchandise original characters. Basically, every single animatronic from the series is included, as well as every major human character from the main series games. I'll go into more detail on that in a bit, but first, let me explain how the tournament will work. Once a day, at 5 PM Eastern Time, I will post 4 polls, each with 4 randomly selected options of the 256 characters in the bracket. These polls will all last exactly 24 hours. Unlike previous years, this tournament will have the top 2 picks from each match move forward in the bracket. As for the bottom 2 characters in each match, they will be moved to what is called a loser's bracket. Here, bottom 2 placements will be put up against each other. The top 2 in each of these matches will move forward in the loser's bracket, while the bottom 2 will be completely eliminated. By the last round of the tournament, there will only be 2 characters from each bracket left, and those 4 characters will be put into one final poll to decide who is the #1 favorite character in the fanbase. Along the way, I will be tallying up exactly how many votes each character gets, and after each one is eliminated, I will place them in a ranking in the order of how many votes they got. This should result in a rough estimate that gives us at least a general idea of the fandom's opinions on every character by ranking them entirely from least favorite to favorite. This list will then be sent to U2s, where they will hopefully reference it in the future to decide what characters to make merchandise of. However, this method of ranking can only really work if each poll gets roughly the same number of votes. So please don't forget to check back in on my profile every single day to get your vote in on all 4 polls. The polls for that day will always be pinned to the top of the page so you can find them easily. Now I'm going to start scrolling through the list of participants. If your favorite character is missing, they probably fell into these limitations that I'm about to list. Unfortunately, even with 256 slots, several characters had to be left out. Characters attached to other characters, namely the various Chica's Cupcakes, Nightmare Freddy's Freddles, Funtime Freddy's Bonbon, and Rockstar Foxy's Parrot, are excluded. They should be considered alongside the main animatronic they come with when choosing whether or not to vote for that character. Characters from games and book series that aren't fully finished, including Security Breach Ruin, Five Nights at Candy's 4, Pop Goes Evergreen, Five Nights at Freddy's Plus, and Tales of the Pizzaplex, are excluded. We don't know everything about these characters yet, so I didn't want to include them against characters that we're already very familiar with. Fazbear Frights characters were only included if they were completely original to the books and not really derivative of any main series characters. A few Fazbear Frights characters were also excluded due to having no official artwork. The only way to represent these characters in the tournament would be with fan art, which, even if I got permission to use it, it's impossible to know if those fan designs are one-to-one with what the author pictured when creating the character. Finally, I have included characters from One Night at Flumpty's. I know some people won't agree with this, but the characters are from games that are official to the Fazbear Fanverse, and there are people who are still fans of the characters, their creator aside. I didn't want to disappoint those people by excluding them, because there's no real reason that they should be excluded if all of the other Fanverse characters are here. And that's everything you need to know about the tournament. The first 4 matches will be posted on Saturday, March 25th at 5 PM Eastern Time, and will continue all the way until the end of May. Make sure you don't miss out on participating.